Ah, what a good morning. Well, let's see. Did I get everything on my checklist? Just about everything, I think. Except for the grass block, which I'm pretty sure I can just skip over. This here. Redecorating. About time. Backpack's been so full of junk. There we go. Crushing wheels. I have no purpose, but might as well put them there. Well, I figured I'd better say good morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is going to be a bit of a smaller episode. Currently, it is just about Thanksgiving, and I've been actively preparing for some social gatherings with family and friends, meaning my schedule has been a little full. I sadly haven't had very much time to record this episode, so this might be a bit of a shorter episode, but please do not fret, I will make a better, longer episode next episode. But for now, we've got something pretty simple set up. Currently, I've already got a time-lapse prepped for you all, but I'd like to tell you a bit more about what's going on before I start anything crazy. So, I have still not been able to get in contact with management, or the islands in general. I kind of lost location of where they last were, but I don't really need them off of the bat. I did have some more pests located here, but nothing I'm not used to handling. So, after everything is said, and everything started off, and I suppose ready to begin, well, that's a lot of ominous banners, you could tell that I've not been very kind to these guys. Many reasons, obviously. Speaking of being kind, thank you. Much better. Alright, so checking our clipboard, it says here we need a lot of supplies. These are all the supplies that are going to be needed in the next step of the greenhouse. Now, you're probably wondering, we already have a greenhouse. It's right there. It's elegant, it's beautiful, it's fantastic. It's everything we could have hoped for and more. However, it's still not finished. I may or may not have missed a block or two in the back, but it has been 100% hard at work harvesting as much of this material as humanly possible. Or, protogenally as possible. Yes, I'll go with that. But first things first, we just go and finish off these little areas. It'll allow us. Oh no. Torch is down. So we just fix this real quick. I'm gonna add an on-off switch here soon, so do not worry, everyone. That is in the works. So we just block that off. Simply as that. We're gonna leave these open for now, because it's not like anyone's gonna be going back here. Our next endeavor is that. A cocoa bean. Now, one of the things about the cocoa bean is that it can only be grown on jungle logs, and it cannot be right-clicked to harvest. Meaning I have to manually go and break the logs, and, well, I have to break the cocoa beans off of the log and replant them. But that's going to be a bit tedious. I don't actually know how I'm going to do that. I'm willing to bet that I probably have to use deployer hands or something along those lines. I don't know if the harvesters work on cocoa beans. You know, I might as well do a quick test, right? And I'll simply do another contraption just like this. A bit more advanced, of course, but for now, I just want to see if it'll take this. So we take the cocoa beans, we wait for it to go past. Let's place the cocoa bean there. And I believe I don't have any bone meal. So, I will be right back to go hunt some down. After a quick nap, and to deal with the rain, I did a bit of skeleton hunting, which means we should be able to use the... Ooh. I was going to say use the rainbow, but... Yep. Grab the bone meal. And we're going to see if the harvesters can even touch this. Oh? 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 See, these are only collecting one of the fastest growing materials in the game. I'm not so sure about how fast cocoa beans grow, though. Might have to do a bit of research on that. But for now, I think a time lapse would be pretty darn good. Don't you agree? So, in order to make this possible... Get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. Bad creeper. I swear, they're just in the grass. Let's really mow my lawn a bit more. That's better. Anyways. So, in order to do this, the answer was actually rather simple. I went and I copied and took the blueprint schematic of this, and I simply put it in the schematic cannon. The schematic cannon took the schematic, and I was able to place it somewhere around there, and the second I press this button, if I double check my material list, it should be ready to go. No creepers? Alright. So this is what I was mentioning to earlier when I first woke up. These are the materials that were needed in order to make one of these greenhouses. Granted, a few of them are not as necessary, such as the grass block or the grass itself, but for some reason it demands it, and if it doesn't get what it wants, it likes to pretend that it's the end of the world. And I don't have any tools with Silk Touch, so I decided to just go with the grass. But for now, well, for one, I want to kind of build a scaffolding so you can see this better. This right here is the center point of the factory. So this is going to be an even distance between the two buildings, meaning that right here is roughly around where I'm going to pillar up and test this out. Without further ado, let's get this greenhouse built. And I don't have to lift a finger. I say as I had to collect all of the materials required for the schematic cannon to work. It's a lot of logs, and it's a lot of glass. Which is a good thing. I mean, greenhouses are supposed to be able to entrap heat and have visibility to the sun. Yeah, you understand how greenhouses work. I've already filled it up with gunpowder. Extra gunpowder just needed. Well, to be honest, I'm scared to leave the cannon because I know it's going to need that piece soon. Oh, and that's what I was worried about. It's asking for the grass block. Of course it would ask for the grass block. It's the only block I don't have. But, considering the fact that it's kind of buried underground, I'm just going to really quickly clear all this out. To be honest, I wasn't too sure on how big this was going to be. This is missing sugarcane, which, to be honest, we don't really need sugarcane. But considering the fact that this machine is completely full already, I do mean completely full. It's not taking any more. Ornate, well, I have plenty of that. So, we're just going to fill up this. Should be ignoring that grass block now. Means we can continue on our time lapse and be happy as a clam. You know, there's something beautiful about watching the lights slowly flicker to light. I was gonna say something mesmerizing and beautiful, but those creepers kinda ruined the moment. So, that is actually all that is needed to be done. It was as simple as that. And now we have two identical greenhouses. Now, I don't know why there's a piece of glass missing there. I really couldn't tell you. It just didn't want to go, apparently. But, with everything said and done, that is one less thing we need to do. Which means it is one more task that we have yet to do. Which is actually furbishing the machinery on the inside. Now, on the inside... I saw you and I still ignored you. A lot of things wrong with me. Fireball. See, the thing is, the interior... Hey, you're gonna keep walking. Oh, you stopped just to dodge that, huh? The interior of this greenhouse looks terrible. I'm gonna say that right now. There is no floor. The walls are probably in a bunch of shambles. That's an Enderman. Cover that up. Half of the floor and half of the outer floor is all made out of gray concrete and stone. Whereas everything else seems to be in working order. I don't see any missing blocks. For now. But right now, let's figure out what we're going to do. So, how wide of space do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish? I'd say 6-ish. So if I put 1, 2... But let's put some stone bricks just to signify... Let's say trees. I'm thinking we do rows like this. You know, spaced out kind of like this, in order to give some sunlight access into the building. And to make it look somewhat palatable. Maybe in between I'll add, like... I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Alright. So, when it comes to machines, I'm hoping to build something a little bit nicer looking than what I currently have. Those things, they just stick out of the ground and they move back and forth, which is what this is going to be doing. However, I'm thinking about making something a little different. I want to make... you know, I didn't think about it. I'm pretty sure they can go through blocks if they're not facing the right way. Again, my biggest problem. Same thing as always. Iron. Really need to make an iron farm. Should have been on my to-do list a long time ago, but for some reason my brain just didn't process it. Downsides of being busy, I suppose. And, you know, being shut down for a while. Systems don't really remember certain things after a certain amount of time. Fortunately, my chores apparently were one of them. Just gonna flip you on your side. Take that off. And poof. Now, I need to figure out what is going on with Dad's cache. Or whatever it's called. The detected farm leak system. Whatever it is causing me a lot of problems. I can't describe the problems. Granted, it is helpful if I have too many blocks in a spot. But it's also been known to, well, ruin a lot of my stuff, because it's tree farming. I use these big trees because they're easiest to cut down. But if I cut down more than one at the same time, it'll delete half of the logs in an attempt to prevent a farm leak. Now, I don't know about you, but that kind of gets a little annoying after a few times. Especially when it takes me so long to get logs in the first place, and I usually need a lot of them. Oh wow. Almost perfect. But we're definitely going to need a few more logs. Alright. So, I've planted the first sets of cocoa beans. Mostly because I want to get a few more so that we can plant them on both sides. And, well, they grow pretty darn fast. Faster than I anticipated. I didn't mess with the ticking speed. I don't think. That's fast. Maybe I'm not going to be as bad or worried as I thought I would need to be regarding the cocoa beans growth. But for now, I'm going to get the materials needed to make the machine. And I may or may not just make it off camera. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a quick tutorial. My head hurts. It hurts a lot. God, sorry. What? Where am I? Oh, yes. Welcome to the greenhouse, the bean house. Truth be told, I did most of this off camera. Because mining the logs and getting the beans placed on the logs and getting the machines up and running was very tedious. I am pretty sure something in my brain is broken. I'm not gonna lie. The current time is 8:06. In the morning. Now you're probably thinking, oh, that's great, you just woke up. That's probably why you sound so groggy. No, I haven't slept in about, 23 hours. So, my brain is extremely foggy right now. Thinking is not my specialty. But I did manage to get most of this finished. I did blow a gasket at some point. I need to get that replaced. But before I go and do anything crazy, I'll show off the machines, which are currently, one of them is currently running back and forth while this one is currently idled. The machines are quite simple. It is a portable storage interface on this, sitting on top of a barrel with a bunch of harvesters that are designed to go in between the logs and simply harvest them. And on the back side, I use these metal girders in order to make a proper, scaffolding for the harvesters to sit on. And all it does is it moves back and forth, doing the same exact thing as those ones over there were doing, except these ones are just a little bit larger. And I've fallen in the hole, but could be a good chance to push this and get it started on the journey. So under here, it's roughly the same. It's just a long stretch of track with some powered rails. I'll eventually add a system to turn it off and on, but so far I have learned one major difference between this and the sugarcane, and that is, these cocoa beans grow a lot faster than those sugarcane. But I figured out that if you grind sugarcane in a millstone, you get twice as much sugar output. So, I'm basically getting the same amount regardless. Apparently, this thing is filling fast. So I don't know why my fist does that every time I look at the box. Trying to lock it or something? Anyway, as you can see, plenty of beans are coming in constantly. I might have to put brass funnels on these things. And the power is simply just being dragged all the way from over here to the point where these things are full. Like this box is full. I might need to add a void upgrade just to keep it from these machines from spazzing out. Oh, hold on. Reload the shaders and yep, there's the machines. Yeah, that's getting pretty full of sugarcane. And we need to get that stuff mixed into some chocolate quick. But unfortunately, I just don't got the sanity. I don't want to sound bored. I don't want to sound mean. But my circuits are currently about to fry. And the ones that haven't fried are currently still frying. It's just taking some time. But yes, this is the bean portion of the chocolate factory completely done. I say completely. I will decorate it a little bit more than this. You know, the floor is going to be a little bit fancier. I'm going to stick it out here. I'm going to get rid of all the coal veins. And I'm going to probably stack up some beans out here. I wonder, did they have any crates full of beans? Credo beans? Can I use the cocoa beans to make blocks? Doesn't seem like it, unfortunately. Like tradition, I'm gonna cook a new meal, and because it is coming close to Thanksgiving, I'm thinking we make something a little bit larger. Now, I don't think there are turkeys in this. Nope, no turkeys. But there's something pretty close. That's a roast chicken. So I think I'm gonna get the ingredients for a roast chicken. And, you know, have my own little Thanksgiving. I think I've gathered all the ingredients necessary. In fact, I'm pretty sure all I have to do is actually just smack them into a crafting table. Now, to be honest, I had most of these ingredients just sitting around the house. So, it's a good meal just to have on a nice, cold, cool, calm autumn night. You know, it's a meal fit for a family of many. And family and friends and comrades. But I don't have any of those right now. So currently, I'm gonna put the backpack down because it keeps feeding me. Just gonna, for one, I think this episode, we've gotten a lot done. So, in order to eat this delicious meal that we have in front of us, grab a bowl, get ourselves a slice. You know, get us some greens, some potatoes. We just have a nice meal at the dinner table. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.